but I do go over the summer, so like in between.
Nice to meet you.
I definitely learned what to do. Yeah. And I don't even know how I discovered it. Maybe I was looking at my map.
I'll say a few words. You can. Hey folks. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming. This is the first time Great Works has tried a meetup like this, and I'm really happy to see everybody here. Just a friendly, informal get-together to say a few words about the land trust and hear from folks, questions or comments or whatever. So I'm Mike Wright. I grew up here in Berwick for a long time. You know, I've been here since 1952, and Berwick was a lot different back then. It was about 2,800 plus people. The tannery employed a lot of people. People worked in the shoe shops at General Electric, various other manufacturing places, the Navy Yard, but there were also a lot of agricultural involvement in town, dairy farms and other things like that. So Berwick was a lot different. A lot of changes came in the 1980s. In 1986, Berwick had the highest growth rate in the state of Maine. And a lot of people, it's not only Berwick, it's all of the other towns in southern Maine, we're getting very concerned about loss of farmlands, loss of wetlands, open space, and that's when the land trust started. Folks got together, we started the land trust, and lo and behold, that was 40 years ago. And now in Berwick, we have just under 1,500 acres of conservation land, including 6 farmland parcels. The land trust owns 13 of those parcels, and the rest are in conservation easements. And the land trust as a whole, the 6 towns, the 3 Berwicks, Elliott Wells, and Algonquin, now have conserved over 8,000 acres. And 40 years, 40 years, that's not bad. We've got another 40 years we're looking at, maybe not me, but we're going to be, the land trust will be here. All of this is conserved in perpetuity for everyone forever. We'll be having some events coming up next year for our 40th anniversary, so keep tuned. I'm going to have Denise Mallet, and who's on our board, say a few words, and then Jill Crosby will be saying a few words. She's our stewardship director. She also lives in Berwick. And Owen, I don't know your last name. Wadlington. Owen is an intern working with us this year. He's a senior at University of New England. So thanks everybody for coming. We can open it up to discussion or questions afterwards, but I'll introduce Denise Mallet here.
Thank you. I'm Denise. I live in Berwick over on Lovebrook Road, and I was just sharing sort of the history of that. My husband and I moved to Berwick sort of accidentally. We couldn't afford Portsmouth and found somewhere that we thought was going to be temporary, and that was 22 years ago. And we are really grateful that we were able to get 10 acres, but we're surrounded by families that have hundreds of acres. So right from the beginning, we never knew that we were going to be able to do this, but we have access to trails, and it really, I had never lived anywhere that had this sort of public-private land access. And so for a long time, it was Orris Falls was our sort of place that we liked to go and hike and take the kids when they were little. Something that always really stuck with me as a mother with young kids was going somewhere that I felt comfortable with kids, whether it was running around or meeting other people on the trails. So I tended to gravitate towards the land trust trails without knowing what I was doing. I didn't realize that I didn't look into it at the beginning. Then we did. So now I'm a longtime member, and actually it was the annual auction that I really like being a part of. We donate and also buy stuff, and it's a wonderful event. A couple of years ago had reached out to Mike about doing some volunteering, and then ended up on the board. And since then, I've learned so much more. But I mean, what I would say when people ask me about the land trust, I just I think about these amazing pieces of land that we've been able to conserve, that everybody's been able to conserve, and just the access to it. And you know, I keep one of the maps at home, and I have not been to all the trails, but I try to check them off, and I make lists for myself. This morning I was at one of them with my dog, and you know, we'll just hop in the car and go find a new trail that we have not been to yet. But so I don't have the history that Mike does with it, but I have this constant gratitude for not just the organization for sort of making the land officially conserved, but mostly for the people that have donated and think about land conservation in their life. So so I have a lot of gratitude for the organization and everything that all the volunteers and staff do. And that's a great segue to Jill, because none of this stuff would be in the condition that it's in if it weren't for Jill and her team. So.
My name is Jill Crosby. I'm the stewardship director for Great Works Regional Land Trust, and there's 6 staff members with the land trust, and 2 of them are stewardship, myself, and there's a property steward, and we oversee all the land that the land trust owns. Right now the land trust owns about 3,300 acres. We have 22 preserves with trails, parking lots and trails between the 6 towns that we service, and that's about 31 miles of trails. So we try really hard to make sure that the land that we have is accessible to the best of our ability. We're trying to work towards a universal access trail in a couple of our preserves. But I moved up to Maine in 2001 and instantly was recruited to Great Works as a volunteer, and now here I am as a staff member, and I'm really grateful. I just love the land around here, and I think it's not just the open space, but how it works towards the communities and the health of the communities. Also, you know, keeping farmland, in working in forestry, it's just a really neat area, and there's a lot of really unique ecosystems. We're right on the border between southern ecosystems and northern ecosystems, so we're in one of the most biodiverse areas on the East Coast, which is really neat. So I highly recommend people getting out on our trails, checking out our properties, and if you ever have any questions, let us know. Our office is in Agunquit, but we're always, wanting to hear from people and their experiences out there. We have, yes, I think I already pressed. We have our hot off the presses, our updated trail guide that now has all 22 of the preserves, like I said, that we have trails on. So this is great. We have a lot of other really fun events that we do with the Land Trust. So we have a beach plum pursuit coming up, which is going to be out of Agunquit. You can check that out online. We're also going to have a fundraiser for a 3-dog rescue on ourselves. It's going to be in November, calling Tales on the Trails. So we do a lot of science-based walks. We have history talks. We try to do different things with, that's my phone, of course, different things for kids. So yeah, come out and check out our trails, and thanks for supporting Great Works.
I can say a few words, sure. Hi, my name's Owen Wadlington. I'm a lot newer to the Land Trust and working with the Land Trust than everyone else that's spoken. I'm a college student at UNE, studying English and biology, so there's an interesting overlap there. certainly. And when it comes to Great Works and the work that it does, it's been really interesting as a college student that hasn't really had the opportunity to work in conservation before, getting to work at the preservation and seeing how much work goes into it, because what stood out to me, maybe more than anything, is the sense of community that I see at Great Works. It just seems like everyone knows everyone else's name, and everyone is just always there and ready to, be part of the next project, go on the next hike, be part of the next adventure, and I think that's really special and really awesome. So I look forward to everything Great Works is doing next as much as everybody else, I think.
All right, great. Thanks, Owen. Thank you.
I think we can open it up for discussion, questions. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any favorite trails they like? Anybody?
Forest Falls was pretty dry.
Yeah? It's not falling, huh?
But this year was yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Tanubiel, and I have intermittently, very minimally volunteered, but I've talked with Mike over the years. And I've gone to most of the trails. I'm not gonna say all of them, but there's such a diversity of habitat in the trails, and I really love plants, and I go there and I'm always identifying plants, looking at the rare plants, looking at the common plants, seeing the invasives. But I will just say that with the trails, with the lands that the Great Works owns, the diversity is just incredible. I mean, if you're into geology, there's the rocks, there's some great, I've gone to some of the walks that are led by a geologist who talks about the ancient history of this local area. I don't know, millions of years, I don't really know. The numbers are beyond me. But it's really worth checking out each of them because they are so very different, and just walking really slowly and then even watching each season as it changes. What's that one off in North Berwick? Nagunticut. That one's amazing. You go like every month or two, and like the variety of habitats from the pines and the hemlocks to the more deciduous trees, the wetter areas, into the beech forests and the birches. And it's a short walk. It's maybe a mile and a half, and you've encountered 3 or 4 different very distinct habitats. And a lot of these places are really quite special, and I'm pretty grateful that Great Works Land Trust exists.
Thank you. All right, well, again, thanks to everybody for coming. Thanks to Corner Point. Kelly and Jamie always have a very friendly atmosphere here. It's a great place to come and visit with the community. So thanks for coming. We have brochures, newsletters, various things here for people to take home if they like. So thanks a lot.